Because guys, guess what? It is time, and it is my honor to introduce to you one of the most wonderful people in the Swedish Disney community. He is the one, he is the only, it's His Majesty Dejan Holmstran! Everybody give him a big applause. Hello and welcome to the stream. Dayan, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good, thank you.
Awesome. It's so nice to have you here, actually. We have been talking about it maybe for a little while that we are going to have you here on the stream, and the day is finally here. So, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good.
Lots of planning.
Mm-hmm.
We have, well, we're in the planning phase of Stockholm Open 3. We have the Infinity Weekend, and we have Store Championships coming up. So there's a lot of things in the pipeline.
Yeah. And we're going to get back to Stockholm Open 3 in a little while because I imagine that we have some questions about that, and I imagine that a lot of viewers have some questions about that too. But I'm going to ask you, are you ready to hear the first question?
Oh yes.
Oh, yes. Because the first question is pretty simple. I'm just going to ask who you are, really. Who is this mysterious, lovable person that I actually got to know? I think it was almost half a year ago, 6 months ago, that we started to know each other for real. Because
Oh,
we saw each other at some store champs, for example. But then we actually became friends and started talking to each other. And you're a wonderful human being. You really were welcome. You really welcomed me with open arms into the community and everything. But tell me a little about who yourself. Who are you?
first of all, it's really nice to hear, and thank you. So my name is Dejan. I'm 44. I live in Stockholm. I'm from Skåne from the start. But I've been living in Stockholm for, I think it's 21, 22 years now. Work with digital design, mm, UX currently. Um, yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
That's you in a
When I'm
nutshell,
not,
really.
not when I'm not working with Lorcana stuff.
And if we look behind you, there is nothing telling that you're not a Lorcana fan. Not at all. Because I don't really see Winnie the Pooh, Honey Wizard back there. I don't see the Mickey Mouse or anything. So you're not a Lorcana fan at all. Look at
No,
here, Swedish Arctic Fox, and my dear moderator. All my moderators are in right now. We have Atagini, which is of course Henrik. We have Swedish Arctic Fox, which is of course Magnus, and we have Joke2, which is Oscar. And all of them are good friends of ours also. Be prepared, they all say. And I wonder why they say that. We're gonna come to that later. But I have to ask you though, the childhood. Because you grew up, and I can imagine since you like gaming so much, because when you and I talk to each other, we mostly talk games. We talk TCG, we talk board games. We had a wonderful, actually, we met, was it last weekend, was it 2 weekends ago? We took a Swedish fika and really had a
yeah,
really cozy
two week
time. Two,
two weekends ago.
2 weeks ago, and we sat down and we just talked gaming, and it was so wonderful and everything. But tell us a little about the childhood itself. When did you first come in contact with gaming itself? And was it really like board games or TCG, or was it like video games, etc.?
Uh, I think it was actually video games or PC games or Commodore 64 games, something like
Ooh,
that.
I
It
like
was like
it.
a mix. My dad was a huge tech nerd, so he had all of the new things at home, all the new computers and stuff. And I did own a Nintendo 8-bit, but that was
Ooh.
also my older Nintendo, and we did get a Sega Mega Drive, I think, but mostly PC. And then when I got closer to my teens, like let's say between 10 and 15, we started to play a lot of board games at home.
Okay.
Could be anything from Monopoly to Spank the Monkey. Um, It's a game.
It's a game. Yeah, yeah,
It's a game.
yeah.
So that was also really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I actually remember my friend. I think I was like maybe 10 years old. I think this was 91 or 90. I was at my friend's house and he had bought Magic the Gathering cards.
Ooh.
And I thought they were so cool. But I didn't understand anything. So that was my first TCG moment now that I look back on it.
That was your first TCG moment, which is, I think, a lot of people's first is Magic the Gathering, because that is the TCG game, you know, everyone's talking about. Mine was actually Yu-Gi-Oh, because I came
Okay.
up in that time of era in the early 2000s when Yu-Gi-Oh came out in Sweden on Swedish television, and it like ruled the schoolyards. Everyone had those cards, and we didn't really play Magic the Gathering though. But to go over from that, we're gonna talk about, of course, the game that both you and I are welly well invested in, and that is Lorcana, of course, because we usually are seen with our Lorcana caps on at events and stuff like that. Look at that, we have the symbol right there, which is amazing. But Lorcana, tell me a little bit, like, when did you discover Lorcana for the first time, and what made you go for a Disney TCG game, which I think a lot of people, in some sense, when they hear Disney in a video game, I think some people kind of be like, no, not that, not Disney, that's for children, which I think Lorcana has proven it is not. It is a very well constructed TCG game. But tell me a little bit about it. How did you discover it?
I think it was like 1 year before the game came out, and I saw it. My friend actually showed me an online article, and it was actually this guy that was featured. Not the card, just the illustration. And I'm one of those people that's, if it looks nice, then I'm hooked.
Hmm.
Um, so for me, that was just something clicked. It felt nice.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a new TCG to start, playing maybe a bit more heavily than I've had been for the last couple of years. I played Star Wars Destiny, for example, which I didn't find super fun. Tested out a couple of other things. I was actually playing One Piece just before Lorcana, but I knew already from the start that I was going to jump ship when Lorcana came out.
What made you decide you were gonna jump ship? Was it that it looked nice, or was it something? Because in sort of sense, you have to almost be like a Disney fan to be drawn to Lorcana. Was there a lot of Disney in your youth that you were like, is Disney nostalgia for you?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. I still remember going and seeing The Little Mermaid on in the cinema. I saw Oliver and the Gang. I think it's Oliver och
Yeah,
Gänget is in Sweden.
yeah.
I think that was
88.
like
One of
yeah.
yeah.
So I grew up with Disney. I love Disney, but I wouldn't say I'm a super Disney fan in that sense. Like, you have Disney everywhere.
Yeah.
I could be lying, but it's not like that.
No, no, but it's
Um,
example for me because I have worked for Disney. I worked for Disney Store and for some years, and in Mall of Scandinavia, for example. And I've been a Disney fan, since I was 3 years old. My whole life
yeah.
has been about Disney because it's something that fascinates me. So that's how I found the game. But
Mm.
some other people just found the game because but it just looks nice, and some people are mostly drawn to because it's a new TCG game. Because when I watched the news, for example, when the first chapter came out, it sold out in an instance. I mean, the Americans are eating this game, like they are
Yeah.
collecting everything about it.
Mm.
But do you remember like the first, should we say, like store champs that you went to? You had your first deck because you jumped on first chapter. Do you remember the first store champ that you was on and what you played?
It was actually chapter 3. Um, I only collected the game set 1 and 2 because I didn't want to invest in cards. Like, I wanted one of each. That was the main goal. But I didn't build anything because I didn't want to invest in a deck that wasn't going to be worth anything, you know, or playable when the game actually came out in Sweden, which was set free. Um, but I think that I played like a really weird green and purple deck that I tried out. I also tried the traditional bounce, Ruby bounce, which failed spectacularly. Like everyone was like, "This is the best deck," and yes, it's the best deck
If you draw the correct cards.
if you don't break.
If you don't break.
Exactly.
That's usually how it goes. I just want to say right now, we are right now 18 viewers right now already. So that's some kind of a record also. So there are many people in here that are eager to listen to. So just give yourself a type of applaud also, because you are a very respected person in this community. And I know a lot of people talk about you in this community because you are a very lovable person. I myself think that because, yeah, you're a wonderful human being. So take that to yourself, just so you know.
Thank you.
And also, guys, if you haven't clicked the follow button already, please do and help me reach the goal of 200 followers. So, we're gonna go now to something else. And that is something that lies pretty close to both you and I. And that is the little logo that you have there on your t-shirt. It is Nordic Inkrealm. Because both you and I have worked for Nordic Inkrealm. We do still, because we are trying to at least make some tournaments work here in Sweden. We have had some fantastic tournaments with Stockholm Open 1, Stockholm Open 2, and of course, guys, we have the announcements that there's gonna be a Stockholm Open 3 in April, the 11th to 12th of April, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That is correct. And we're gonna talk about Stockholm Open 3, but first of all, I just want to talk about Nordic Inkrealm. Because maybe for some of the viewers right here, what is Nordic Inkrealm? And Oak Tree Knocker, I know a lot of you people are eager to ask questions, maybe about Stockholm Open 3 and stuff like that. We will take the questions later. I will ask all of your questions, so hang in there, because the viewers' questions are going to come last in this interview, so hang in there. But what is Nordic Inkrealm?
Nordic Inkrealm started like an idea to kind of put the Nordics on the map. Me and my friend Magnus, Arctic Fox, the moderator here, we were actually down in Malmö last spring, and we're playing a really nice tournament that Malmö Kortspelsförening held. And on the way back on the train, we were sitting and talking, and the idea was that shouldn't we do something in Stockholm, you know? Because Malmö has done a couple of good tournaments, but Stockholm, which is the capital city, has nothing. Like, we have no presence at all. So we decided to just, let's do it, see what happens. And from there, Nordic Inkrealm's kind of was born, like just an idea from the start. It was supposed to be like this umbrella organization that everyone could use in all the different countries in the Nordics. So yeah, we just started pretty much looking for a venue, and as luck would have it, Card Expo Sweden was having their expo in something called Disney Lorcana, which is like this cultural center in Stockholm. So we were like, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And we sold out in like 1.5 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
2 weeks maybe.
Yeah, it went quick.
And it became the largest tournament in the Nordics at that point, which was really fun and really crazy.
And I was there, and it was a very successful tournament, in my opinion. I think you guys did a great job. And that also brought me in because we known each other and we started to know each other more because of that. Also because I got introduced to you guys by Oscar, a good friend of mine here, Joke too. He introduced you to you and Magnus also, and we started to talk. And with that also, I actually started to ask like, do you guys need some help? Because I'm interested also because I have been more interested in like when I love something that much, and Lorcana in my opinion has been there for me because I haven't filled that well. There's some stuff that happened in my life, and Lorcana was there and really helped me like put some joy back into life. And when I love something so much, I get so passionate about that. So I have always been more interested in what happens behind the scenes than the actual happening of it. And but there's always one thing that I have been wondering more because I was a commentator at Stockholm Open 2, which was amazing. I had such a great time with Swedish Artifox and with his brother Legend of Danne. We had a great time and it was so funny. But how does it work? How do you organize a tournament in this type of scale? Because it's big work. It's a lot of people. I mean, 200 people are going to fit into a tournament. It takes a lot of work from especially you guys behind the scenes. So take us backstage. How do you create a tournament? And how do you organize a tournament in Lorcana?
First, you kind of need a venue. That's the baseline. If you don't have a place to be, then you can't have a tournament, and it needs to be able to fit the amount of people you need, of course. But for us, it's also important that it's easy for the players to actually get there with public transport, for example. Stockholm is a big city, and it's easy that a tournament could end up in like one of the suburbs, and we really don't want that. So when we find a venue, we need to see that the price is okay because it's pretty expensive in Stockholm. And when we find a place that we like, then we need to start looking for sponsorship. And usually it's not monetary; it's like prices and stuff. And the ticket sale is what makes the tournament run pretty much. So all ticket sales go right back into the tournament. So we try to spend every cent that we get. But that also puts the pressure on us because the larger we get, the more expensive it gets, and it's not a small jump. It's like, oh, we paid 8K the first time. Oh, we paid 20K the second time. Oh, they want 100K for this next venue, which is not going to fly, of course. So it's a bit stressful to find the venues. So that's the big thing.
Yeah.
And then we need to do the like the budget. We need to see what do we want to give to the players. What can we give to the players? So, for example, we usually have goodie bags, and in those we have our little pin with Inkrealm.
I'm gonna see if I can grab one right here, but here we go. There is the pin that you always get for being in the Nordic Inkrealm tournament. I hope that you guys see that pretty good at least. It is a beautiful handmade pin.
And we really wanted it to be like, we wanted it to fit with the rest of the Lorcana pins. So it feels like it's cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
And well, then we wanted to add maybe some candy, like we did the first time. We added lore pads, which we had to buy to add. Last tournament we also added the drinks. We added boosters. We have like these tournament tags. So it's a pretty big, bag for just joining.
Get one here too. One moment. I can show you here the wonderful tournament tags that you can get here. I only think I have still the... So this is how the tags looks like. This is my crew tag from the last Stockholm Open 2, but you get one of those also if you are a participant. And you also get the mat. You can book one of the mats also and buy.
Yes.
Yes.
So we wanted to kind of brand the tournament so it felt like Lorcana, but not Lorcana, due to the IP restrictions.
Yeah.
But we still wanted it to be close enough. So we have the pins, we have the mats, and then we created our own lore decks, or lore counter decks
Yeah.
that we also printed for the last tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
So all of this, it needs to be designed. It needs to be kind of approved in the group. It needs to get printed or produced. And we always have to kind of look at the bottom line. How many players are we? How much money does that give us to work with? And then based on that, we can do more or less stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it works. And then so when you have like the venue, then you need to decide on the products that you're gonna give to the players. You need to get the actual prices for the players. Here sponsorships from Ravensburg comes in, or from maybe Speltrollet, which is a store. Those are invaluable for us because those products really help us, because the players get super happy with what they get. And then you need to also find people that want to judge. You want to find people who want to help out as volunteers. We need streamers, of course, and these people need to get something for their work. So then we need to find more products for those. And then we have all the social media, like you need to create the actual templates. You need to have some sort of idea of what you want to push out every week. And it's a wheel that just keeps on rolling up until the day, and then we have the tournament.
And that end we have a tournament, and that's also what you say there. It takes two to tango in this one. So if you are interested, guys, in the chat to join Nordic Inkrealm, so I think that you should write to Dejan and maybe say, I can be a volunteer, for example, or I want to judge this tournament, because it's really fun to hang out backstage. But I'm gonna also ask you, because since you have organized now, is it 3 tournaments or is it 2 that you have organized? Because you also organize like store champs for tomorrow. You are the organizer for Alpha Spel in Stockholm.
Yeah, so I've organized most of the store champs for Alpha Spel, the pre-releases, the Infinity Weekend now, 2 Stockholm Open, and now the 3rd is on the way. And then we helped out Malmö Kortspelsförening with Disney Lorcana Open 2 at Malmö Game Week.
Yeah,
where we were their partners and helped
exactly
out with the organization.
Yeah, because I really want to get down to, this is maybe your opinion also, but since you are an organizer and know how to organize a tournament, like, what does it take to create a good tournament in your opinion? Because you have, a lot of things. It's the atmosphere, it's the players, it's everything. It's a lot, it's the streaming, it's the commentating, it's the judging. But what does have to work to create a good tournament like that? And maybe also, is there something that you want to see evolving with Lorcana tournaments in the future? What do you want?
To create something that works is the baseline. Like, you need everything to just run smoothly. If it doesn't run smoothly, then players are going to be dissatisfied. You're going to lose time. we can actually see that with these big DLCs, they have had some technical issues. They have some issues with the structure and the flow when it comes to, like, let's say buying a pack rush, stuff like that. But they're so much huger than us, and they are gonna have issues. We are lucky that we're not that big yet.
Exactly. Yet, because
Yet.
we will be big. Because our ambition is to make Nordic Inkrealm the biggest tournament in the world, in that opinion. Because we
Yeah,
want a lot.
hopefully.
Hopefully, because we want a lot of players, and I can
Yeah.
say that you guys are doing a really good job, because there are a lot of people talking about this tournament.
Mm.
Especially when I'm going around and talking to people, they said, "Oh, it's the Swedish tournament and Nordic Inkrealm. Oh, they're so great." But
Yeah,
continue.
we really had some nice feedback, especially from the Brits, which is really nice. Um, they are a couple of guys that's been here both for Stockholm Open and Malmö Game Week,
Hmm.
and they think we have a really nice, chill atmosphere. Everyone is nice, both players and judges and tournament, which I'm happy to hear that, because we aim for everyone to have a nice time. You know, you should come here. You, of course, it's going to be competitive, but you're supposed to have a nice time with your, with your opponents. You're going to play some nice games, you know. Um, so that's super important. And like you asked before, how to make a good or a nice tournament, the players are the most important thing. They need to be they need to be happy. That's our goal. Um, and having no technical issues, it's a big step forward. Like just having a like play hub working, that's a huge thing. Having a smooth check-in, you know, not too much downtime between rounds, being available for the players when they actually have something to ask. Um, all those things put together creates a good tournament.
And is this something that you would like to evolve with the tournament? Is it something like, oh, in the future, I would want to do this in a tournament? Let's just say that you can decide everything with the tournament. Is there something in particular that you would want to see?
Uh, of course, it would be really nice to, I think, for me personally, having a 512 person tournament would be like a good goal to reach in the future, because then we're like up with the big boys, so to say. It would be nice to also kind of include the illustrators. Maybe have like an illustrator corner. Our friends in Norway, the TCG for Foreningen, they are actually having a event called Lorcana at Sea, and they actually have, I think it's Javier, I think his name is,
Hmm.
which is an illustrator for Lorcana. So he has
Yeah.
actually made a playmat especially for that tournament. Um, so that could be something nice. So involving those type of people more, so you get closer to the action, so to say.
Hmm.
Because people really love to get their cards signed, to just talk a bit. Um, One thing that Malmö has done really well has been the the children part of Lorcana. They have had a lot of children playing. We tried that in Stockholm Open too. We didn't have a lot of kids coming,
No.
sadly. We tried. Um, that I would like to see that part also grow,
Yeah.
because it's a really kid-friendly game, and we really try to make it as good for them as we can. So though I would say that the kids, the normal players, so we really want to give them a good experience.
And also something that we can talk about is that with Stockholm Open 2, something pretty big happened. And that was that Stockholm Open 2 became a CCQ.
Mm.
Tell us a little about that. How did that work, and what is a CCQ also for maybe the viewers that don't know?
Um, well, it all started with Lorcana or Ravensburger going out and saying that they're only going to host free DLCs, which is a qualifier for continentals that then leads to worlds. Um, Europe had four the season before, and the US had six. Now the US got three, and Europe got three. Uh, this made a lot of players angry because they felt that they couldn't play as much as they wanted to, and they also felt like it was harder to get tickets because those tickets go. I think it was Bologna, the first DLC for this season. The tickets was gone in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So that just shows how many people love this game. Um, so from what I've heard is that the CCQ, which is then a smaller qualifier that's more local, those were supposed to come in next season, but they needed to let people play more. So they kind of just threw it out in the spur of the moment. And I think that it's 24 CCQs per continent. Um, and then you, as a tournament, had to apply. You had to have certain things that you had to be able to apply. But we're happy that we got it. So the winner was actually a Swedish woman called Aska.
Mm-hmm.
They won, and they got a ticket straight to the Continentals because that's the first prize. You get a ticket to Continental.
Yeah.
If you take a DLC, I think it's a top 4 or top 8 that get invited.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a much bigger chance to actually win of these tickets to go to a CCQ than to a DLC.
Yeah.
Even if a DLC is super fun to go to.
And we're now going to go into the future of Nordic Inkrealm also. So can you tell us a little about what is the future of Nordic Inkrealm right now? Because there is an upcoming tournament that is going to happen the 11th of April to the 12th of April. We'll see you there, guys. I'm going to be there. You're going to be there, of course. And a lot of other luminaires are going to be there too. But what is the future of Nordic Inkrealm in general?
We want to keep on creating fun tournaments. That is the only goal, to be honest. We would like to grow and make bigger tournaments, and we would like to have a nice working relationship with Ravensburger, so they feel that we are a partner that they can trust, which I think we have shown so far. We are talking about maybe branching out to other TCGs to maybe host tournaments for other games. But for now, that's not anything we are doing. Lorcana is the main focus.
And with that also, Stockholm Open 3. Tell us a little about it. What can we expect?
I think you can expect, if you've been to the other two, you have the baseline. You, of course, get the fully stacked goodie bag. You have the new playmats. We have the cosplay competition. We have the stream, which we actually premiered for the first time at Stockholm Open 2.
Which was a success.
Yeah, it was really nice. We built our own UI for the game, which actually worked pretty well.
It worked really good, in my opinion.
Yeah. So we're just tweaking those things a bit. So like we usually send out a form after the tournament to just get some feedback, and we take those feedbacks and we, you know, tweak here and there just to make it a bit better.
Yeah.
we have been looking at venues. Um, we have two venues currently. We have one in the smack of the city, which I sadly don't think we will be using due
Oh.
to economic restraints.
Yeah.
Um, so we will most likely be holding it at Card Expo again this
Yeah.
year, um, with some updates.
With some updates.
Because it was the first time we were at Fryshuset, which was the venue,
Yeah.
both for us and for them. So now we actually know a bit more about the venue and how things work.
Exactly.
Like, one thing that didn't work at all was that they had we required a mic, so we didn't have to stand and yell, information, because that feels really bad for a tournament. But the only mic they had was like up in the stalls somewhere. So our judges had to run up and then kind of talk up there, and no one knew where to look, and then run back down. So that's something like one of these small things that will have a big impact, but
I think it will work out pretty well, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Because it's going to be a very exciting tournament. I'm looking forward to it. And guys, don't forget also, because when can we book tickets for this venue? Or when can the players book tickets?
We aim to release the tickets the 1st of January, and we're going to have something new when it comes to pricing of the tickets. So instead of having early bird, we're going to have each month there's going to be a price hike. So we are currently looking at the price of €50, I think.
€50. Okay.
But if you buy in January, you can get it for €30. So it's a pretty big discount.
It's a pretty big discount.
But if you buy it in February, it's going to be 35 or €40.
Okay.
So it goes up the closer we get to the tournament. That way, we feel that we can have players actually afford tickets. Players can plan to actually come. One big issue we had with Stockholm Open 2, even though it was a CCQ, we had a fairly good turnout. I think it was 135 people. The problem was that Ravensburger had played 3 CCQs at the same weekend, one in Cardiff, one in Stockholm, and one in France, which meant that we cannibalized on each other's players. I think that when Malmö Game Week had their tournament, they had like between 20 and 30 Brits, for example. We had 0 in Stockholm because everyone was going to Cardiff, of course, because it's closer.
Of course.
And then the week after, we had the Bologna DLC. So we totally get that people can't afford travel, all over Europe. That, of course. So the date we have now is placed kind of smack in the middle of 2 DLCs. There is nothing else planned when it comes to CCQs from what we know. We are applying for a CCQ. We have not gotten it yet, but fingers crossed. So we aim to fill this one with 256 players, and hopefully we will get there.
We are gonna get there. So you heard it here first, guys, on the stream. The 1st of January, the tickets will be on sale for Stockholm Open 3. Let's see you there, because why not? It's a great tournament, and I personally would say, like, the Lorcana community is probably one of the best TCG communities right now, because I never felt so welcome before by a community, because always when you go to a tournament and stuff like that, you're maybe a little bit scared, you're new, and you're like, who am I going to talk to? But I never felt that with Lorcana. Everybody wants to talk to you, everybody goes around and like says hello, shake your hand and everything, which is something that I have never been a part of before in a community like this. So I think it's wonderful. So if you're new to the game, you're more than welcome to come. And also in the community, we always help each other. So if you need to borrow a deck, and if you know, don't know what you want to play, just ask. We will help. We will help. The most important thing is that we have fun and make the community a better place for everyone. In my opinion, at least.
And I think that's important because, as you said, it's a very welcoming community. I think that's also why we have been so successful, not just because we are nice, you know, but because the people are nice.
Yeah.
That's playing the game. It's good people, and I think it's pretty cool that it's actually it's pretty mixed. Normally, and this is a bit harsh, but if you take a standard TCG, it's like 99% guys. With Lorcana, it's more like 85-80%, and the rest is women, which is I think is really really nice. We actually had two girls winning both Stockholm Open and Malmö Game Week, which just shows that they are great players. So gender doesn't matter.
Gender doesn't matter at all, in my opinion. As long as you're there having fun and just are bringing the best in the community, everyone is welcome. Doesn't mean if you're green, yellow, what gender you are. Everyone is welcome. That's just how it is. And with that, Oak Tree Knocker says the Brits are coming this time. Well, I hope they do, because I love me some Brits. And that's actually all the questions that I have for you. So with that, we're going into some fun games. Are you ready for this?
I hope so.
We're going to start with the top 5. So this is the top 5. So I'm going to say something. So this is the Lorcana set game. So I'm going to give you a set, and you're going to place it out on the top 5 list. But you can't change your answer. That's the thing with this one. That's the thing with this one. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Into the Inklands.
5.
Why?
It didn't have that many big cards. It had some really fun cards like Piglet, for example. But I think it was pretty bland.
I would also say one of the absolute best legendaries there were at the time. That was Robin Hood. Champion of Sherwood, which was it kind of amazes me that a card like that was actually worth like 35-40 euro back in the day, to see him go down so low right now, because it was really that card was like one of the main cards that you can play for, like in Amber Steel, for example, and in Ruby Steel you saw him all the time. Joke 2 writes that locations were new for that set also, which was a pretty big deal.
I really liked locations, but since it was new, it kind of had to grow a bit. They felt very non-existent, that set. People didn't use them.
And I think that comes from everything. When we have new cards, for example, in Whispers of the Well, we have the boost cards, which I personally, we're going to come to that, but I was very worried about this new effect with the boost, because I was like, it sounds complicated, but when you started to play with it, it's not complicated at all. It's fairly easy.
It's easy. I think it's fairly balanced, and we can see from some of the text that some new locations that are coming are gonna get the boost treatment also.
Yeah. And that was the same thing with Duel Links that was coming in Arcasia's Island, for example. I think that is one of the effects that maybe hasn't stand the test of time in Lorcana, because it felt like it came and it went pretty fast also, because you rarely see cards nowadays that has the Duel Link symbols. Some of them have, but at the same time that was pretty new for just that set. But in that case, we have Into the Inklands at number 5. And that is understandable, because I think a lot of people would hold that set as one of the weaker ones from the series. The next one, Reign of Jafar.
tricky because it was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think number three.
Number 3. Why?
Mm. It had some good cards, but it wasn't like mind-blowing good. Um, I felt that some of the illusion cards that came out was like subpar,
Mm-hmm.
but we do have some good illusion characters, of course.
Yeah.
But it was the same like with locations. It was an idea that didn't maybe survive that long.
I mean, illusions
Um,
is a type of card that are played in some decks today, and
mm,
they are usually very powerful, and therefore also very easy to just take away. But
mm,
I can actually agree with you there that Rainier Far, it felt like that set, it just came from
yeah,
nowhere, in my opinion. And if it was some really nice cards in there, and I think that the more sets that are coming, the cards from that set will be much more playable. Because right now there aren't really like, even when it came, it didn't feel like any of the legendary cards were that playable. Like Namari was there, she was really good. The Lilo card was very hyped, and I think she was really good too. But with the rotation, also, that comes in play
yeah.
that you really can play them.
For me, I think that Jafar was it had potential, but due to Fabled coming out, it kind of killed Jafar before it even had a chance.
If
Because
Jafar would have been the rotation set, I think that would have
mm,
been totally different, in my
yeah,
opinion. Yeah.
I think so too.
The next one, Rise of the Floodborn.
Hmm, I think one, to be honest.
1.
Mm.
Oh, that's very high. Tell us why. Rise of the Floodborn, the second set.
Yeah, you had some really good cards in there, like Beast, for example.
Yeah,
Bucky.
we're gonna come back to him. We're gonna come back to him. But yeah, for
Yeah,
example, there. I mean, look at a card like Beast that also was one of those standard cards that you saw mainly in blue steel decks. For example, you saw him, everything like that. You know, he was a very expensive card, and right now, like, nope, because you can't use him, of course.
no, exactly. And he kind of also went up and down in price for a
Hmm.
while, at least at the end. But I think the biggest thing was the bounce package.
Yeah,
Um, for me, that mechanic was extremely well designed. I really loved the idea of um, of the cards kind of trying to catch each other, going up and down, like in the movie. Um, the issue was that nothing else was as good designed.
yeah,
So it was just too good,
too good. Hmm?
too good
Too good.
as a whole. But it was really, really fun. And I think this is what also makes me love Lorcana because you can do these stupid, crazy things with the cards that you couldn't do, like, let's say, with One Piece, which was pretty static, in my opinion. Um, but you could, like, oh, I'm gonna quest with this guy, then I'm gonna play out Fox that's gonna hit this guy, and then I'm gonna play out Snake and take Fox up back.
Hmm.
You know, you could do some really cool combos.
Yeah, you really can, and I would love to see those cards again. I don't think it will happen anytime soon, but it would be amazing. And right now with the Infinity Weekend, it's going to be nice to see that maybe some player are going to pick up that bounce package again to play Fox and Snake and the Goat and everything. Because it's almost like unthinkable when Fable came that like we're not going to be able to play these cards anymore because they are typical cards that needs to be in a deck like that.
But I think that also that kind of shows why we needed the rotation.
Yeah.
Because if you take purple or amethyst, um, many of those bounce package cards were always in the deck,
Yeah.
and it's it's both good and bad. It's bad because the game kind of stagnates, even though if they print out 4 new sets and you only change 2 cards. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah. Now that's the thing also, because rotations are pretty good, because the only thing that I was afraid of when the rotation happened was that a lot of people hyped up aggro decks. And that was the only thing I said, like, if this is just going to be an aggro set, then I'm just going to be playing Infinity until we get the next set. But I thought like Fabled even found its way. There was a lot of aggro decks, don't get me wrong. But Amethyst Steel was a big one. Blurple was the undisputed ruler of that set. Everyone played Blurple. And stuff like that. Even a deck that I have in recent fell in love with, and that is Sapphire Emerald, which I think is a really good deck, which is one of the strongest decks right now in Whispers of the Well. But with that, we're gonna go to the next one, and that is, so we have Into the Inklands at number 5, Jafar at number 3, and Rise of the Floodborn at number 1. The next one is Azurite Sea.
I would say 2.
2, and why?
Because you have some insanely strong cards in there, like Maui Half Shark, correct?
Maui Half Shark come out there, yeah.
You had so much synergy cards that came out in that set that just made, let's say, blue red super hard to actually.
Ruby Sapphire was the undisputed king with that set, because we had one of the cards that Angelo, my last guest, said that he thinks should be banned, and that is Sail the Azurite Sea, the Ram card.
I actually concur. It's super effective for that cost. I think that ramping is always super hard to balance. But right now it's kind of going kind of rampant, especially when you look at the Blurple decks right now.
Yeah.
I think that banning Sailing the Azurite Sea would actually bring it down to a more imaginable level.
I even said that if we're gonna ban Azurite, will that kill ramp?
No, they have so much cards anyway.
Because you still have Tipo, you have a Pleakley, for example, for the turn 3 and everything like that. Yeah. But the thing that I can agree on is, if you just would have set a card, that's okay. But it's the draw power of it also, that you draw a card because of it.
Yeah.
And that I think that is probably one of the absolute most unfair uses of that card, even though I play it myself.
It is, and it's so cheap. I mean,
it's very cheap. And with the last one, and there's only place number 4 left, and I think that this set kind of fits there, and that is Fabled.
Yeah, it fits there, I would say.
That's number 4.
It had a lot of good staple cards, of course.
Yeah.
I think for me, I really went hard into Fabled.
A lot of us did. A lot of us did, yeah. And bought a lot of package.
Yeah, I just felt in my backbone that I was going to get one of those iconics. Of course I didn't. I wasn't even close.
Angelo got one. He opened one. We saw it. It was insane.
Yeah, I did draw an aerial in this set.
You did. Because
it was nice.
Your display openings from this set is unbelievable. Can you tell the stream what you did pull? Because when you showed us the pictures of what you have pulled, I thought you were kidding me. Like, there's no way. Because my displays, even though I was very happy with the things I pulled from Whispers, and right now I mostly have everything. I actually don't have one single Demona yet, so I'm in the hunt for one Demona. But when I saw what you draw, I saw this gotta be a joke.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. There's been sets that I haven't seen, like unenchanted, like nothing. It could be like 3 sets and nothing. But this time, I think I got one case and one loose box, I think. And I think I pulled 4 or 5 enchanteds. I pulled Aerial. I got 2 foiled Cindy's and 2 normal Cindy's. Yeah, I pretty much hit everything you could hit.
Yeah. No, you should be very happy what you opened because it was good.
I was, because I've had like super bad luck, to be honest. This was overall by far the best set I've ever opened.
Yeah, I would say so. Because I would actually say like Fable was probably my most luckiest, or maybe Reina Jafar, because I opened ton of legendaries, but then Fable I opened like 6-7 Dumbos or something like that, which was insane because my my trove that I opened on the release day, that is a question in itself what it was, but it was not. You can see like now with Whispers in the well that there are no guarantees in the displays. I mean, my displays were pretty good. We had a wonderful Luminaire at here in Westeros, Eric, Blue Bubbla, his name is. He opened up 1 iconic Aerial and 1 enchanted the same day. And he actually opened up another enchanted, so congrats to you, Eric. You are the man. You will be in my heart, remember that. And then we got Oscar, who didn't open, anything on the whole display, which happens. So when people often ask me, because I did get a question for a person in not even an epic. No, he didn't even open an epic in his display. But you opened a Cindy joke, so that is a good thing nonetheless. But there was actually one who asked me like, what are the guarantees with a display? And after like Whispers, I'm like, there are no guarantees, because you can get a god display if you want to, but you cannot pull anything.
Now you can get god displays.
Yeah,
this is actually something new, I think. I'm not sure why the displays are looking like they are now, but you can pull some crazy cards for real. I think there also was like a god pack someone pulled, or close to it.
Yeah, I've seen some openings where they have like opened, what was it like? I think there was a video online, like 20 legendaries or something. It was like, it's insane. I'm like, that's 1 legendary in each pack. Like, that's insane.
That's insane. And I'm not sure why. I don't think it's intentional.
No.
Something must have happened in the production.
Because then you see displays like that doesn't have anything in them, like only like super rares. And then again, there are some very good super rares and Whispers, but in my opinion, if you pull 5 to 6 legendary in a display and maybe 3 epics, that is a good box. Don't get me wrong, that is a good box in my opinion.
3 epics is insane. 1 is good, 2 is extraordinary.
Yeah,
but 3, I'm not sure if you can get 3.
And I actually, I have got it. I've got 3 in one of my displays. Actually, I got 3 epics. But then again, also I think with the epics, because I've decided right now I'm not collecting enchanteds anymore. Enchanted for me is just, oh, that's great, because now I can trade it for new cards. Epics is something I collect, but I hope for the future that they are gonna introduce like legendaries to become epics, for example, because right now we only see. Because the epics are only commons and uncommons and maybe rares, right? There's not a super rare, right, that is epic yet. Because unfortunately, like some of the cards are not that valuable as an epic. And that again, that is not the most important thing, that they are supposed to be valuable. It's the design of the card itself. Because I would say the most valuable epic card right now is the Zeus card, the new one. Because that is the most playable one. Yeah. And with that, we have the top 5 set games. So we have Rise of the Flawborn at number 1. We have Asteroid Sea at number 2. Reina Jafar at number 3. Fable at number 4. And Into the Inklands at number 5. And I would say that is actually a perfect list, in my opinion. Yeah, I would say that is fairly good. So we go to the next one. This is 5 quick. 5 quick questions. The first thing that you think of. Open boosters or buy cards from card markets?
Open boosters.
Okay. Big Sisu or B prep?
Big Sisu.
Okay. ID or no ID?
Mm. No idea.
No idea. DLC in Sweden or travel to DLC outside of Sweden?
DLC outside of Sweden.
Organizing or playing the game?
Organizing.
That's it. So here comes the next top 5 list, and this is just for you, my friend, because I'm not gonna have anything to say. These are the top 5 most irritating cards of all time. So these are the top 5 cards that you just want to, oh, it just crawls under your skin whenever one of these cards are played. So let's say that 5 and 4, they are irritating, but at the same time you play them yourself, so it's not fun to have them played against you, but you play them yourself. 3 and 2 are like, these cards, I want to burn them. Number 1, you rage quit, you walk out.
Yeah.
And you get to decide. I don't have anything to say in this, so we begin it with number 5.
Number 5, Hiram.
Hiram. And why?
Because he was so overstated. Like, I think he could have been a really good card balance-wise, but they just broke him. It was just, yeah.
Because he is... I would say that they made a mistake there. They should have bucketed him and just reprinted him with some new text instead of banning him. Because even though now, because when that came and when with the new blue steel deck came, it's no wonder that they banned it after just like 1-2 weeks. It was insane how you could even play that deck. But that is understandable. Hiram number 5, though, that it's such a nice feeling when you just get him out and play and just draw 2 cards. It is a wonderful feeling. Number 4.
I would say Maui Half Shark.
Mm-hmm.
Super good card.
Maybe a little too good, in my opinion.
A little bit too good. I'm not sure how many games that I lost. I had like 19-1, and then he came out and I lost 19-20. It was like, okay.
And that is one of the worst. No, it's one of the worst feelings in the world when you're at 19 and you lose 2019.
Yeah.
We all have been there sometime, and it sucks. It's not fun at all. So those are like the 2 cards that they're irritating, but at the same time, you play them yourself. Now we get into the user stuff. Number 3, these are cards that if you had a lighter next to you, you would just burn these cards. So number 3.
I think Sisu, Big Sisu.
Big Sisu, yeah.
I mean, total brain dead card.
Insane.
You play her in a ramp deck, and it pretty much killed the whole aggro archetype. Because, not that I say that my favorite is aggro, but you couldn't play aggro. You couldn't play anything with smaller cards.
Nope.
Because you just played her and you auto win.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep. Pretty much.
And then you just ramp, and it was like, okay.
Yep. Yeah, there was like no point in continuing the game, because as soon as you come out, the only thing that could save you was like, oh, you're at 16, 17 lore, but then also, you know, like Pirate's Life are gonna come out or something, some shenanigans like that, and I don't have any cards in my hands. I can't do anything here. Number 2. Bucky.
And I did play him myself, but I didn't play the normal deck. But I did use him more like as an extra spice. But I think that the issue with him was that you couldn't get to him when he was at his top.
Because tell us a little about that situation, because Bucky came, it was in Rise of the Floodborn, right?
Yep.
What happened with that card? What was that card? Because right now, that card has been changed, and it went pretty fast also. So what was Bucky?
The Bucky had a special text that said, every time you play out a Floodborn card, your opponent discards a card. And no one really used that in set 2, but when set 3 and 4 came out, or yeah, 4, I think,
Mm-hmm.
it was just pure, it was a bloodbath. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you had Diablo, which was Floodborn. So you played Bucky, then you shifted in Diablo, um, and it was just, and then you had maybe Prince John, which made you draw cards when your opponent discarded cards. So my opponent discards 4 cards, and I draw 4 cards. It was like horrible, and there wasn't really any way to get to Bucky if you didn't have a AOE. Like you needed Big Tinkerbell with her 1 damage,
Mm-hmm.
or you needed Grab Your Sword,
Yeah.
you might, or Be Prep. That was the only way you could get to him. So you had to pray to the card gods that your opponent didn't draw him, because if they did, the game was lost,
Yeah.
pretty much.
But thankfully they changed that also. So what does the text say now again with the newer Bucky ones?
The issue was that he had ward also.
That's
I forgot to
correct.
say that. That's why he was untouchable. Now he doesn't have ward. He does have more HP, and the text is: if you shift in a Floodborn character,
That's how it is.
your opponent discards a card.
Exactly. And that mostly killed that card because there's
Yeah, yeah,
not really that many.
unplayable.
Yeah, unplayable. But then also we have the number one most irritating card, and this is the card that you rage quit. As soon as you see it, you just want to walk out.
Gee, I wonder what card it could be.
I wonder what
I
card it could
wonder.
be.
Does the chat want to take a guess?
Cause guys, let's say it all together. 1, 2, 3. Be prepared.
Stupid card.
A
I mean,
stupid, ridiculous card.
so broken beyond belief. I mean, board
Alana
wipe.
Dale, Roar 2 cases.
I mean, it was a no. If Sisu was a zero skill card, like B prep is just stupid because
Yeah.
in itself B prep is a good card. I mean, it was necessary, but in the decks that you played B prep made B prep unbearable
Yeah.
because in a ramp deck you could get it out fairly fast,
Mm-hmm.
and not just one time. You usually had 4, and since you can just mill your deck, you just, oh look, B prep, oh I draw 10 cards, look how good I am, B prep, oh I win. And then with the locations, especially and in Ruby Amethyst and Sapphire, Ruby Sapphire,
Mm-hmm.
that made it just unplayable.
And it also was one of those cards like you had a Maui Half Shark out there, you did a lot of actions, and then you could just end it with a B prep.
Yeah.
And just insult to injury already and win the game with that also. Which is insane because it's an action card.
Yeah, and at the end of the rotation, you had so many extremely big, good cards. Like you had the coils that came in also that lowered your willpower
Mm-hmm.
or your power, which made Sisu also super insane because you could
Even better.
yeah, you could just lower the HP on a lot of characters and then just boom, Sisu board wipe. And then you have B prep board wipe.
Do you think that we're gonna see B prep in the future again?
Maybe. Sadly, I think we will.
Yeah. Because in my opinion, a card that I'm looking for right now is that board wipe card. Because the
Yeah.
only board wipe card we have right now is the Prince. Like with the shift
Well,
and the thing like that. And
you have
I
Under
was
the Sea also.
we have we have Under the Sea, sure, that's two. But I was so sure that Big Caesar was gonna come out this set. That they were gonna reprint her. Even though I said it might be too early. Because why would they reprint her just after one set? That's insane. But yeah, you have Prince, Under the Sea, there is Spooky Side also and stuff like that. But mainly also what was with B Prep is that it board wiped everything. It took away on both
Yes.
of your, which could actually be to your favor sometimes.
Sometimes, yes,
Yeah.
but 90% of the time it was for the player that played its favor because
Yeah.
usually that was a ramp deck
Yeah.
or they had so much in play that it negated the
Mm-hmm.
beat prep. Like they had locations, MacDuck Manor. I mean, oh, let me kill this 8 willpower location times two. Yay. You know, it ended up you trying to build decks with just two opponents in focus. You needed Silver Pete, the referee, to stop B prep pretty much. Um, you needed something to remove cards from them. Um, like a whole new world was amazing
Yeah.
towards those decks. Um, no, but they had too many win conditions,
Yeah.
too many big cards at the end, and I mean they are big for a reason, but it felt like you could do some insane things after turn five.
But would you rather say that because when you have a deck, for example, Amethyst the Ruby, that is not a ramp
Mm.
deck, would you say that it's more the ramping cards problem than B prep itself problem?
Yes, the
Yeah.
ramping was the issue.
Yeah.
And the ramping would be prep with locations.
We have Kim411 say B prep is going to be reprinted as an RA as a Ruby Amethyst card. Trust me. I could see that. I could see that. Because
Oh,
that would actually help something.
I think that would help because you can't abuse it in a pure ramp deck.
No.
And I think that's a good take on it. I would say it's a good compromise. Um, I really like that idea.
Okay. So there we have it. Be prepared is the card that you just wanna rage quit when you ever see it, which I think a lot of people would agree with. And for the next and final game, we have Speak Until You Hear a Better Villain than Ursula the Sea Witch. You ready? The evil queen from Snow White. Queen of Hearts. Cruella de Vil. Clayton.
I think he's pretty bad.
You think Clayton is pretty bad. He is even worse than Ursula the Sea Witch. Wow.
Yeah.
We actually had some other villains here. I can get them through. We have Gaston.
Mm.
We have Ratigan. Maleficent. We have Hades. We have Scar. We have Yzma. We have Jafar. And we also have, in my opinion, the best Disney villain ever created, Frollo.
Yes, he's
Yes.
the baddest of them all.
He is the baddest of them all, and probably the best, in my opinion, villains ever created. In my opinion, because he
I think,
is such a complicated villain.
yeah,
Often when you look at Disney villains, they are just evil just for the pure fun of it. Like Ursula, she's just evil just because she's evil, and that is nice. But Frollo is evil because he thinks he does something good.
mm,
And that's what I love with villains, like when you sympathize with them.
yeah. I think Clayton was pretty bad also because it felt like he had zero redeeming qualities.
He had pretty zero redeeming
Uh,
qualities, yeah.
he was pretty just evil to the core, like money talks. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, we see a lot of those also. Like we have Rourke from Atlantis, evil to the core just because of the money, or oh, what's his name again from Pocahontas? Radcliffe was also one of
Mm,
those. But then again, they had some charm to them. Clayton was just evil.
exactly.
And probably the best death scene of a villain ever is Clayton's from Tarzan. Still haunts me to this day, that death scene. If you haven't seen it, when Clayton dies, look in the background of what happens. I can't believe that is in a Disney movie. It's insane. It's totally insane. But with that, we are now going to move to questions from the audiences, of course. So we're going to begin here and see. Joke2 asks, what is your favorite childhood board game?
I think it's a game called Romikub. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure if it's outside Sweden, but it looked like almost like dominoes with like two sides or one top and one bottom with letters and symbols, I think it was, or numbers. That was my first real, you know, I feel I'm smart game
Okay.
because you really had to think about it playing it.
Is that one of the most important things for you, like with board games TCG, like you're feeling smart? Like, oh, I did that good because I was smart doing that.
Not necessarily. I like to feel that I have control, that I can do what I want to do. I did play X-Wing um, on a high level for a couple of years. It was like a 90 times 90 centimeters big map, and you place out asteroids, and then you had points, and those points you divided out to your spaceships, and then you flew around and dogfight other spaceships. The issue was that it was a lot of dice rolling, and for me, dice rolling after that has been like, no, I don't do games where dice rolls are the main thing.
Dice roll, in my opinion, is like, yeah, it's okay. Like with Lorcana, also, it's just luck based, but I wish we can just put away dices
I
altogether.
mean, I think that I was one of the best flyers in X-Wing,
Mm-hmm.
but I was also one of the worst rollers of X-Wing.
Mm.
Um, I I was like, let's say like this, in Lorcana I'm pretty famous for bricking, which happens way too often. In X-Wing I was famous for blanking.
Oh.
Um, and I felt that was very unfair because I could fly really well, but I couldn't execute the last step due to a bad roll.
Mm-hmm. Oak Tree Knocker asks, will you be offering playmats at Stockholm Open 3?
Uh, yes. This time we will most likely print more mats. Usually we have playmats for the top four, and we have playmats that people can pre-order that they get in their goodie bags. But I think we're gonna have a couple of them also on the price wall this time.
That's very nice because that is something I have missed for the prize wall is mats, actually play mats. Because I think a lot of players are looking forward to that. Guys, if you have any more questions, just ask them right away. We have one here from Baldorf. Question: do you play any other TCGs?
Not at the moment. I have just started to kind of dip my toe with Riftbound,
Mm-hmm.
just to see what it is.
I
It's
think a lot of people have done that right now because it's a
Yep,
new TCG and it just come out.
and I
Mm-hmm.
think it's nice. I mean,
Yep.
it's cool. It has some fun ideas. It's for me, it's almost like a mix of Magic and Lorcana, something in the middle. Um, but no other TCGs. As I said before, I played One Piece, which I played more for the fun of it, like to hang out with my friends. The One Piece community in Stockholm was just insanely amazing. I mean, it's been one of the most fun I've had without actually, trying to compete because I felt everyone was so nice. Um, I was a bit afraid that Star Wars Unlimited was going to be too good to not play, so I'm pretty happy that I didn't go over to that. For me, as I said also before, the art for me is super important,
Hmm.
and it felt like the art was just AI generated. Um, and I wasn't a big fan of the I play one card, you play one card type of game.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I
I like it more when you play like a lot of cards, like in Lorcana. Like there's only a draw phase and an end phase. Other than that,
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
yeah, and I also like that you can do all of these big combos,
Yeah,
which for me is the most fun with the game. When you can find these really crazy things that what just happened.
yeah, yeah. The combos. I agree. The combo system in Lorcana is, in my opinion, unbeatable. Roar 2K. Why is this guy sending gay memes to Sconians all the time? Um.
What?
Yeah. Define Roar 2K. Which franchise that are not in Lorcana yet are you looking forward to most? Like, is there some special franchise that you want in Lorcana?
Gummy bears.
Ooh.
Those are the only ones that I'm looking forward to now because we have Darkwing Duck, we have
Mm-hmm.
DuckTales, we have Tailspin. That was
Ooh.
my childhood.
That was your childhood.
So the bears are the last piece of the puzzle. Then I'm super happy. And I'm fairly certain that we're going to see them.
I think we're
Um,
gonna see them too.
yeah, and I think that's going to be the new bounce package, but in a more
With the gummy berry juice bouncing
yeah, but it's going
bouncing
to be a more
everywhere.
it's going to be a more balanced, hopefully, um, set or mechanic.
Baldorf, do you collect anything in Lorcana, like Enchanteds, for example?
I have some enchanteds, but as I said, I have been very unlucky. So I only have a few. So no, I don't collect those. I do collect all the sets, so I have complete set of everything,
Yeah.
and I don't have a master set. So a master set is when you have a play set and the foil. For me, if I just have one card, that's good enough. As long as I have 204. Um, I think that the thing that I could say that I collect is the DLC promos. Um, I've
Good.
gotten most of them by playing. Um, there's only and when I say the DLC promos, I don't mean the top 64 ones. I mean you had Dragonfire, um, you had Cinderella, Rapunzel from the first DLC. Um, then in this set, you had Simba, Mulan, and Pegasus.
Yeah.
And the only one that I miss at the moment is Elsa. So she's going to be the one that I try to get my hands on in the next DLC. So that's my main goal, except for going to day two if I manage.
Yeah. Guys, we're still 13 viewers right now on the stream, which is very fun. So keep asking questions because I think Dejan will love to have even more questions asked to him. What podcast do you miss the most and why is it Lorcana Pod and Roar 2K ask?
To be honest, I'm not a big podcast guy. Um, I've I've listened a bit, um, but it's usually like more news related.
You were on the
Um,
Lorcana Podden, which was a Swedish Lorcana podcast that came out, but you were on there for some
yes,
episodes. Yeah.
yeah, and I try to listen to some of the bigger international Lorcana podcasts, but for me, it's I need a visual stimulus when it comes to Lorcana.
I
Just
I agree.
talking, like if it's like a video pod or vlog or whatever it's called,
Hmm.
then I can that works because I can see what they're talking about. They have the cards up,
Yeah.
um, but just talking for talking's sake, I have a hard time concentrating.
No, but I can agree. I love it like this when we're sitting and talking, and like if there's a video on it, I like it even more because I like seeing the vision, visualizing it. Like not just
Mm.
visualizing it in my head, but I like to. Maybe if I go to sleep, I like to have a podcast in my ear or something. But I usually want
Mm.
to look at something. What
And
is the?
don't get me wrong, Lorcana Podden is really nice. I think they will start up again, maybe. Not to
I
say
hope
or not.
so. I hope so. And guys, subscribe to Lorcana Podden. It's a very great podcast. I loved it. And I hope that they will start up soon again with some new episodes because they are doing a really good job. What is the biggest ick, like, or not the biggest ick, but what is the biggest with organizing a tournament? Like, oh,
I mean, there's a couple of things. Since we, if I take us personally,
mm-hmm,
Inkrealm, and as I said in the start of the pod or this episode, that money is always an issue
mm-hmm,
because we don't get money that way,
no,
um, and the I don't see any way to get money that way.
no,
Um, so it feels like we're sometimes pushing very hard, like we're desperate, which could be the case. but without the players, there is no tournament. It's not just that without the players, we have no players, but without the players, we don't have the tickets, the ticket prices or
that's how it is,
money.
unfortunately.
Um, and without those funds, we can't do anything. And that's why we always. This is also why we have this payment scheme going for the next year. That it's going to be much more economic to buy it early. We take a loss, but we know we get people in, um, and that's more important because then we have funds that we can plan and use. Because if let's say we have 100 players signing up, or that is the max we have for a venue, and 80 people sign up the last week, we can't do anything at that point.
No, that's just how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah,
What is the funniest thing with organizing a tournament? Like, oh, this is so fun.
I feel it's the planning itself. Even if it's a headache, I kind of see it like a big puzzle in my head.
Hmm.
It's kind of nice to see all the pieces coming together. Like, oh, we sold 2 tickets. Now we can actually get the pins, for example.
Hmm.
It's kind of sad how small margins we have, but it really makes a difference. And when we can do that for the players, because it's not for us, all the money goes in and then back to the players.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most fun thing to actually see the players be happy, to be excited, um, to have fun. When they actually join the tournament.
Guys, keep on asking questions because we have some times left. Do you have a specific memory of an event like a tournament and everything? Do you have a specific memory that you just remember? Like, oh,
I have a few. There are two memories. One is B-Prep, of course, the famous incident in Malmö.
yeah, because we actually had a question here. It was someone who asked about Malmö Gamer Weekend here, the first tournament that you got
Mhm.
thrown out of it. What happened?
I bricked, and he played like 3 B preps in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it felt very unfair, especially since I almost won 2-0 in the Swiss. He
Mm-hmm.
managed to get 1-1,
Yeah.
but it was very close. And
Mm-hmm.
then I got just steamrolled in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
But that's the game. I mean,
That's the
he's a
game.
good player, so
Yeah.
but
Can't be angry at that. That's just a game. That just happens.
it's yeah, exactly. But that's one of the reasons that I don't like B prep because he
No.
had 1 or 2 castles out and just B prep. Oh,
Yeah.
look, 4 points. B
Yeah.
prep. Oh, 4 points more. B prep. Oh, I won.
Yeah. It's just a game. That's just a game.
It's a game.
Do you have
And
another memory?
yeah, it was in, I think it was in Linköping,
Mm-hmm.
and I was playing against Alice. Alice is also in the organization, and she is also the like TO for Dragon's Lair here
Mm-hmm.
in Stockholm. And she loved her Jafar deck, and usually I didn't have an issue with the whole wheel thing,
Mm-hmm.
because it felt like it was a Russian roulette. There's no chance you're going to get 3 in a row. Guess what she did?
Oh.
Yeah, not
Ah.
3 in a row. She did get 2 in a row,
Two in a
but
row.
yeah, but the thing was that she had friend 1 or 2 friends. She had Rabbit, and
Oh,
then
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I think she did 21 points in 1 turn.
Oh, dear. That is not a
Yeah,
great feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I
I
can
almost
understand.
I almost flipped the table. That was crazy.
I
But I mean,
probably would have done the
it
same.
yeah, it was fun, but and then I think the worst feeling is when you play games, especially pre-rotation. As I said, you met the ramp deck or Ruby Amethyst, and you had like 19-2 or 19-0,
Yeah.
and you still lose. That always infuriated me because it felt so unfair in a way. Um, just because how the different decks are built. Um, I'd much rather lose 19-20 if it's a close game.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would say this is the best game ever because then it's
Then it's fun
something is
because
yeah,
yeah, it's a good game because I have those games too. Like when it's so close and it's like it doesn't matter if I lose because I'm like, wow, that was such a good game. Thanks for the match.
yeah.
Like that was amazing. It was just a fun time.
Exactly. And most of the best games I've ever had I lost, but they were so much fun because the player was really fun to play with.
Yeah.
They had a fun deck. They did some amazing things with the cards. It was just a really cool, back and forward.
And I think that also because when you play against someone that is generally just nice and just likes to chat, that just makes the game even better.
Yes, and for me, I played all the DLCs in Europe, which has been 5 at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I never met anyone that has been like had a bad temper or was like a bad person.
Okay.
Let's say it like that.
Hmm?
I've met the most amazing people from all over the world. Of course, there are some people that's super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They are not inherit bad. They don't have an attitude, but it's harder to reach them.
Which I also can respect in some types because when I go to a store champ, for example, then I'm meeting like you guys and we're just having a lot of fun.
Mm.
So that, but also like when I go to a big tournament, I'm there because I'm having fun. Now I don't really play in the big Swedish tournament because I help organizing it. But if I would play like in Malmö, I'm going there to win. Of course, that's my goal. Like I have a goal and that's to win. So in a general, I understand like you are very competitive. You're not there to make friends. Like I'm there to win. But in my opinion, still like I'm still gonna have a great attitude about it because I'm still gonna be like, that's just who I am. I'm almost be like, hey, like let's talk to everyone, like be super nice in general. But I respect it also that some people are just super focused. Don't break my mood right now. I'm just thinking and everything, which then
Exactly.
also, which
I
is the
think
competitive
those,
side also to it.
yeah, I think those people who are competitive but still really nice, those are unicorns.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find them in this because it's a pretty it's two pretty static sides. You
Yeah.
have the more casual and you have the more competitive.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I have met players that I thought was downright nasty to play against. I have played against player that have been competitive, but I haven't had any problems with them. Like I have played other TCG games where I have met players that are, in my opinion, unbearable. Like I couldn't stand them. I almost wanted to quit the game just so I could get out of there. But that's the once again that's the beauty of Lorcana. It's a very good community, and mostly I would say 95 of the people that comes to these events are some of the nicest people that you can meet. And after the game you can be like upset with yourself that it went bad, but I'm still standing and talking to them and be like, oh, and we discuss ideas like what if I do this and what if I do that. You rarely see that in a competitive TCG game, actually, and at least in
Exactly.
tournaments.
And
uh,
fun fact is that Stockholm Open has always been a great place for international players. Stockholm Open 2, we actually had two-thirds of the players were from outside Sweden,
yeah.
which is, I would say, it's a strength that you can actually get that big of a crowd that's not from the country the tournament is hosted. We even had players from the US, which was really crazy
That was
and fun.
insane. That was so fun to see actually, and some big names were actually there also. I mean, in Malmö, we had the world champ himself was there, for
Mm.
example. That was just so fun, and we had Spessy was there, for example. Also, he was there casting also, which was really fun to see.
Yeah, that was Malmö Game Week.
But he was in Stockholm Open one also.
Yes,
Yeah,
Spetsy,
yeah.
yes. And Stockholm Open 2, we had Son,
Hmm.
top 4 player.
Very
We
nice guy.
had,
Very nice guy to talk to.
he seems super nice.
He was very nice.
And then we had some people from Forbidden Mountain. I think
Hmm.
one of them went to the finals
Yeah.
this DLC in the US. Um, we had some real big contenders. So I was super happy that Aska went and won the whole thing
I was so happy
against
about that too.
a thin, like a pure Nordic final, which was really unexpected but
Yeah.
super fun to see.
No, that was amazing to see. We also had like content creators. We had the Luminary Glimmer was there. Briggan, as his name is, a good friend of mine. She was there, she was even up on stream, which was awesome to see actually. And then we had, of course, Angelo, who was the head judge, but he is Villains and Ink also and stuff like that. Then we have Danne, Legend of Danne also, who was a co-streamer with me also and Magnus.
Yeah, and we had Tales of Lorcana, which is a Italian
Hmm.
team, which is really good. We had the team Saniswit. Now I don't remember the team name, but they're like the best team in the world at the
Yeah.
moment with a lot of people and like
But
top players.
do you have an opinion about like content creators? Because I myself, I try to do a lot of content creation and put up memes and booster openings. Do you have like what is your opinion about content creation? Does that help the community a lot in your opinion?
I think so. I think it's good with um, like you have interviews now and
Hmm.
you do some pack openings, you have memes. It's good to have like a spread. I think your strong, especially your strongest USP is that you have these interviews with
Hmm.
people of interest, which is not that common in the community so far. There's a ton of people opening packs, and I mean, it draws a public. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's good to also maybe do deep dives. I have to confess I don't particularly look at a lot of content myself, because since I work with it, you kind of keep away so you don't burn out.
Yeah.
Um, if I would go all in, I would quit Lorcana in like 1 week.
Probably. No, but I think
Yeah,
it needs to be more of like people interviewing, because as I said, I'm always more interested in what happens behind the scene. I'm more interested in seeing how it happens than the actual happening,
yeah.
especially when I'm passionate about something.
Mm.
Revengate, first time shadow. Hello and welcome to the stream, guys. If you haven't followed me already here on Twitch, please click the follow button and help me reach the goal of 200 followers. Rare Hunters was there also. Yeah, the Rare Hunters was at the Stockholm
Yeah, that
Open
was
too.
Sam's team.
Yeah, exactly. They were there also. You have done so much for this community, Dejan. You really have done. Is there something that you are really proud of that you have done for this community?
I think the thing that I'm most proud of is having people coming up to me and say that they did feel very welcome, um, because that that makes me feel that I've made an impact,
Mm.
or I'm helped form the community to have that type of impact. Uh, we had um, we had a German, I think it was, a German guy who decided to take like a week in Stockholm before Stockholm Open 2 and
Yeah,
just, sightseeing. And he came to Alpha Spain and we played, and afterwards he came up to me and was like, I never felt this included anywhere. You know, that's not my own play hub.
yeah,
So that was super nice. But then we tried to have initiatives to help the community grow. So, and I'm kind of happy and about that. We have this initiative called Invite a Friend.
mm-hmm.
So we have a bit of a product left from the price wall, and we were like, can't we use this to kind of grow the community? What's the best way to do it? So the idea is that an older player that's been playing the game brings a friend that never played the game before. And they have to participate 4 times in a 12 period, um, a 12-week period, which is like the set length pretty much. And when both of them has 4 checks that they've been in play, they don't have to be there at the same time. The older player gets a playmat, and the new player gets, I think it's Azurite Sea Trove, which gives them a bit of a boost to start collecting. They get some, some dice, they get some extra packs, and they don't have to put too much effort into it.
Yeah,
And of course, we know that it could be some people that come, take the product, and go. That's fine. We have to accept that. But hopefully, some people will stay.
and I think they will also, because I think that is actually some kind of a trend with the Swedish community, that we are very open and we just want to help. We just want
Yeah.
more players, and just be nice and come over, because we're gonna take good care of you. We don't bite, we promise.
Not hard, at least.
Not hard, at least. Your favorite Disney movie and why?
Oh, this is always hard. Like,
Yeah.
of course, I have
And I'm gonna
also one.
exclude the Pixar movies here. We're just gonna talk the original Disney animated
Yes.
ones.
I think my more nostalgic movies are Aladdin and Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
But I think the best one is Atlantis.
Oof.
And on the honorary mentions, I have Treasure Planet
Yeah.
and The Emperor's New Groove, because I love
Yes.
those two.
Yes. Emperor's New Groove. One of the most underrated Disney movie of all time. Probably the
Yeah.
funniest that they have ever done. Mine is
But Atlanta,
mine is Fantasia though, which is a very different type of Disney movie. But I think that is where Disney showed its true colors, like what they could do with animation. But if we're
yeah.
just gonna talk since it's not really a Disney story, it's just more it's animation with music, and I love classic music and I love animation. But if I were just to pick a story driven movie, Beauty and the Beast, no questions needed because it's perfect in my opinion.
I mean, I love Beauty and the Beast. I love Tarzan.
Yeah.
They are all super good. Um, but Atlantis for me was something special because it felt almost a bit like anime. I remember when I saw the trailer the first time, it
Yeah.
felt very dark. I was
Oh,
like, okay, this can't be Disney. This is insane.
I remember when I
Because,
saw that trailer too. I was like, I was very young, but I was like, what is this? Like, wow, this looks
yeah,
different.
when you see Kira's eyes just glowing,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
that was
so
it.
cool. That whole
Um,
scene with her with the transformations going up, I was like, this is Disney? Like, this is
yeah,
insane.
it was really cool. And for me, it wasn't just the movie and the theme, it was also Mike Mignola, uh, the artist who actually
Mm,
draws Hellboy. He
that's
did the
right.
concept art for the movie, which shows because they have this very angular faces and stuff, and you can really see his style in it, which makes it even more dark in a way.
That's right.
Um, and they
Good point about
also,
that.
because Atlantis didn't come to Swedish cinema, so I was lucky enough. As I said, my dad was a huge tech nerd, so we had a DVD player, which
Mm-hmm.
wasn't very common back then. So, and in Malmö, where I lived at the time, they had this video store that was like the only video store in Sweden that was like importing movies, like it was super
Ooh.
big. So I actually imported and bought Atlantis from that store. It was like this double DVDs special edition, and they had actually a documentary disc on it, and it was just like an hour long. You can actually see it on YouTube for free. But they actually went through how they created Atlantis, and that never like the area in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
like and that never left me because it was so detailed. Like, okay, we're gonna create this movie. We have Atlantis that's kind of sink down in the Earth's crust. How do they survive? Where do they get heat from? Where do they get food from? They had the whole ecosystem planned out, and the language, everything.
Yeah.
It was such a nice tapestry of design and information that they just kind of melded together. And
I think the language itself is amazing because they actually brought in the guy who created the Klingon language from Star Trek.
oh,
So he
cool.
has made the language for the Atlantis movie. So they said, we need you to create this new kind of language. And he's like, no problem. So you can actually learn Atlantic and how they speak in the movie. So
That's cool.
that's pretty cool. I would actually like to learn that myself when I have the time. But it's fun that you say because since I grew up in the 90s, like the movies that are usually talked about back then were the Disney Renaissance movies, you know, from The Little Mermaid all the way up to Tarzan. But I'm really happy now that the early 2000 movies like Treasure Planet, Atlantis, Lilo and Stitch are getting such a good reputation right now, and a lot of people are talking about them more and more and more. So I hope for God Disney remake Atlantis and Treasure Planet. We
I
want
mean,
those.
those would be more, I'm not saying easy to do, but it felt like those are more clear to make a real action movie of
Yeah.
instead of Lilo and Stitch, for example.
Which was a good movie actually. I saw that one live action. It was actually pretty good.
I started watching it. I didn't finish. The thing is, I'm not a big fan of these movies.
No.
Not that they're bad. It's just not something that I want to watch. I want to watch the animation.
Yeah. And I
But
think that is one of the things that a lot of our us old school Disney fans are saying, like, we do not want to watch them because it's bad, because I watched them all and some of them are really good. I think that there are actually some of them, actually one of them that surpasses the original, while the
which
other
one?
ones, Jungle Book, in my opinion, I thought that one
Mm.
was really, really well done and very well done and very true to the Rudyard Kipling story of the Jungle Book itself. I thought Aladdin was actually pretty good. I thought Will Smith did a very good job, even though he went up at probably the best character ever created by Disney, the genie by Robbie
Oh
Williams.
yes.
So he did a good job there. But as you said, it's the animation, the
Mm.
hand drawn style animation. That is the beauty of it.
Mm.
Okay.
And if you take The Little Mermaid, I think that I have no. A lot of people had issues with her skin color in the live action. I thought she was uh, a perfect match. Personally, I think
Yep.
she was really good.
Probably the best thing
Uh,
about that movie was I is her name Haley
yeah, something.
Bailey? Yeah, she was
Haley something.
amazing. She was one of the, and the thing with the skin color thing, I, I just
Yeah,
in there out
I
there.
don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah,
Just okay, if that's the biggest issue, then probably you have some issue yourself. But
yeah.
she was probably one of the best thing with that movie, in my opinion. She was a fabulous Ariel.
I saw, as I said, I've seen like the start of many of these, but then kind of lost interest
Yeah.
because I just I end up like watching the original movie instead because
Yeah.
oh, I want the animation.
Yeah, me
You know,
too.
I
And that
want.
that is probably one of the absolute biggest thing for me too. I just want the animation because it's much more
Yeah.
beautiful and the thing that you can do with animation. That's why I think a lot of people like us say, well, this movie doesn't work because it doesn't have the same thing with the animation because you can do so much more. It's more alive, it's more colorful, like the expressions and everything. And that is hard to do in live action. That is
Yeah,
probably one of
and
those.
let's say Lilo and Stitch was, from what I've heard, it was a fairly okay movie.
That
It
was
was
good.
well made, but like you can't get that expression of her
No,
and Stitch when they're like messing around.
no,
You
that
know,
it's impossible, and
it's just a special feeling.
yeah, it's doomed to fail. Do you have a specific moment from a tournament a funny moment, like this was funny? Something happened and it was funny.
To be honest, nothing pops up. It's either super fun, a super nice memory or like a super bad memory.
Okay, but we can take those
Um,
two then: a super bad memory and maybe a super like nice memory.
a super nice memory and a super bad memory. I think these are like intertwined.
Okay.
It was actually in Bochum, the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a pretty not unorthodox deck, like what was it? Um, Emerald, green emerald,
Mm-hmm.
amethyst emerald, and it just worked. And
Okay.
it worked so well that I actually ended up on stream the last game, and the
No.
winner of the game would have gone to top 64, which was
Ah.
just insane. Like 2,000 people, and you're sitting there in the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the game ended 1-1 because I did a misplay in the first game. So this is the really sad part. Um, he was playing Ruby Amethyst, and he'd got out like Medusa, and that's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
And the issue was that he also had Flynn out. And Flynn says that if you don't have any characters that's bigger than my biggest character, I get a ton of lore.
Yeah.
Um, and the misplay was that I think I had Diablo out, and I don't remember how it was. I think it was the rabbit that I blew up, and he draws a card, and I draw a card, which I shouldn't have done because it's only on his turn that I draw a card.
Ah, that's right.
And the issue was that I drew a fox. And I needed Fox to control the board state because I think its score was like, let's say, 10-4 or something. It wasn't game over, but it was close. And of course, then my opponent says, "Oh, you can't do that." The judge comes, and the judge asks me, "Did you see what it was?" I'm going to say, "Of course I did," because I'm not going to lie on stream. And then we did a reshuffle, and then I drew a new card, and it was like a 1 cost or something. So I ended up losing that game.
Okay.
And then the game after, I won 20-0, which was super fun. So the thing was that we both lost in a way. To be honest, in that situation, you just want to do like a flip the coin almost, because it feels so bad that both of us kind of eliminate each other. But it was a really fun moment. It was super close. At that point, I was top 180, I think I finished.
That's very good.
That was fairly good, yes.
Fairly good, I would say.
And that kind of was the highest Swedish rank until Henrik, the guy who won Stockholm Open 1, actually managed to get 128 just on the line in Birmingham.
Henrik, a very good player and a good friend of ours also.
Yeah.
Very good player.
Super good player.
The first Stockholm Open one winner. So if you play against him, you're up for a treat because he is probably one of the best players I have played against, in my opinion. And with that also, we have now been sitting for 2 hours, which is a very long time. So we are nearing the end of the interview. And at the end of the interview, I'm going to ask a question that is asked by the previous one that has been on the interview. So this question comes from Angelo. And he asked you this: what's holding you back from being the best at what you right now are loving or playing?
I would say burnout. Because I see players like DKP, Son, Henrik, the players that actually go far in tournaments. I don't have the stamina or the interest to sit and play that much.
No.
Because it kills my interest. That's why I say burnout. If I would play the best meta deck day in and day out just for a DLC, I would stop playing the game after that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about finding the balance, playing, organizing, because I can't be on top of both. I need to kind of dial down quite a lot on one of them just to keep up the balance internally.
And I would actually agree with that too, because like if I would only sit and play one single deck, that would take away the fun from the game. It's always fun to play different types and like evolving your game idea, because when I entered the game I used to play Amethyst Amber, and I think that is the perfect deck to start with to learn the game. Because when it comes down to it, Lorcana is about getting to 20. The first to get to 20 lore wins. But then after that I felt like, well, now I know the game kind of. Now I want to evolve, so that's why I started to use like Ruby Sapphire and stuff like that. Decks that are pretty difficult to play because you need to understand what you are doing. So I fully understand that. And you are also going to be asking a question to the next one that's going to be on interview. You can ask anything you want. I would love it to be about gaming or TCG, board game, but you can ask anything you want.
Anything I want. What would be the dream IP for a TCG for this person? Outside Lorcana.
Outside of Lorcana. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. And I will make sure to ask that to the next person that's going to be coming up here on this interview. We are 8 viewers right now on the stream. Dejan, I want to say thank you so much for being on the stream. You're a wonderful human being. Keep on doing what you are doing. And we're going to see each other tomorrow also for the tournament, the Infinity tournament at Alpha Space. It's going to be really fun. Is there something that you want to say before we turn the stream off?
No, just good job.
Thank you.
I'm happy you're doing these interviews. I think it gives a good insight into the game, the organizations, the players, you know, just giving a face to the masses pretty much. And I want to say Merry Christmas to people because the season is winding down. It's going to be pretty slow going for the next month. We have like one league night planned, and then Alpha Spel has like winter not closed, but they end. I think they close at 7, and then you don't have time to play. So.
No. And with that, Merry Christmas to you. We see each other tomorrow. And guys, give a big round of applause and a lot of hearts to the one and only Dejan Holmstran. Thank you so much for being on this interview. And we see each other on the next adventure.
Have a nice one.
Thank you so much. And with that, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the stream with me, being on this adventure. Once again, thank you so much to Dejan Holmstrand for being on this interview. Guys, it's been 2 hours right now. I'm feeling a little bit tired, so I'm gonna go straight to bed and get some sleep and get pumped tomorrow, because tomorrow it's time for the Infinity Tournament at Alpha Spel. I hope to see a lot of you guys there. Until then, guys, take care of you. You are awesome. And bye for now.